It was the worst experience of my life. I would not recommend Excellent to my worst enemy. They have done me very wrong and caused a lot of problems in my life.
First this morning, our top story. The problem solvers push for answers concerning a Redmond business. Former customers say they were left with more questions than answers after having their vehicles repaired. I spoke with one woman who says the owners need to be held accountable.
It was the worst experience of my life. We went from a 3-bedroom house to a motorhome.
Cassie Hobright reached out to the problem solvers after multiple complained about Redmond-based Excellent Automotive on social media. And she wasn't the only one. The problem solvers received dozens of complaints about the automotive shop, from accusations of installing broken parts to returning vehicles still damaged.
I would not recommend Excellent to my worst enemy. They have done me very wrong and caused a lot of problems in my life.
Hobright went to Excellent Automotive to repair her 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee after her engine blew. In total for the motor replacement, Hobright was charged over $8,000, to which she paid off over time. She claims the first installation took 9 months with little to no communication.
We kept calling, trying to get updates on it, and they would not respond at all. We even went by there a couple of times. My significant other went by there and confronted Chris, the owner, about it, and Chris actually got confrontational with him.
Once the new motor was installed, paid off, and vehicle returned to Hobright, she was able to drive about 1,500 miles before the motor blew again, to which she brought it back to Excellent Automotive because it was under warranty.
It was in there probably about 6 months with very lack of communication, no calls, no updates, no nothing.
Once the second motor was installed and returned to her, Hobright found there were no fluids in the entire engine.
So no transmission fluid, no oil, no antifreeze, no nothing. And so when we called them back, they tried to tell us that that wasn't covered in the warranty.
Hobright claims she had already paid for the fluids when they installed the first motor as seen on the first invoice, so it would have been covered by the warranty during the second motor installation. She brought her Jeep back to Excellent, but the company tried to charge her fluids again as seen on the invoice from the visit.
So we just said, we're going to come get our vehicle from you. We don't want to deal with you anymore.
Hobright claims the automotive shop refused to return her vehicle keys despite the bill for service being paid off until she signed certain documents agreeing to not speak publicly about her experience with the company, which she ultimately signed.
I've never signed something like that with the shop, but I've also never been so wrongly treated by a shop. So and only some of their paperwork says that, not all of it. Some of the other paperwork doesn't have that part in it.
It's been over 2 years since she first brought her Jeep to Excellent Automotive, which she still cannot drive, despite paying off the financing each month. She claims the money she spent to fix her Jeep through Excellent has caused financial burden.
We had a house for a while. We got a little bit behind on the rent because of the car, and we ended up having to move out of there.
I reached out to the Better Business Bureau to see if anyone has filed complaints against Excellent Automotive.
Complaints in total, they've got 5 on their profile right now.
From a preliminary search of their website, I found that Excellent Automotive was rated an F.
It is because of their complaint volume, and then also there are unresolved or unresponded to complaints. And so all 5 of those complaints have been unresponded to.
A search of public records showed the automotive shop had been sued previously in 2023 and as recent as 2024. In both cases, the judge had found Excellent Automotive to be liable and needed to pay a certain amount of fees. For one, it was over $10,000 and the other was $4,000. These court cases are not exclusive to people who've attempted to gain retribution from Excellent Automotive. Coming up on Thursday, the problem solvers introduce you to another alleged victim of Excellent Automotive, who took their case to court and tells us they're still waiting for justice. I did have the opportunity to speak with a co-owner of Excellent Automotive concerning customer complaints. Initially, they agreed to do an interview, but when I recently reached out to schedule a meeting for that interview, they did not respond to multiple messages. The mission of the problem solvers is to inform, investigate, and inspire. If you have a story idea for our team, email us at problemsolvers@ktvz.com.